That is so, so funny. So you enter the competition, you get there, you're excited. It's like a surreal experience for you. And how I want to touch on that actually. How was it being away from family and friends and having no communication? How was no contact like?
Yeah, it was very strange because it's like at the beginning, I think I obviously lean on them a lot and I'm very close to my parents, as you saw when they, visited, and my
Yeah,
boyfriend and other friends. So it was
yeah,
hard because I was so used to talking to them every day and like
yeah,
not just in a sad way, but also an excited way. Like, oh, we did this. I want to tell all these people about this. And then you can't, and being
yeah.
afraid of like forgetting things. Um, but then it's almost like you like, at least for me, it's almost like I entered in sort of like an alternate reality where obviously I know these people exist and I miss them and I'm excited to see them, but your castmates almost become your like pseudo family. And
Right.
and your brain kind of transitions over to like, okay, real life is I need to win $5 million. And oh, right, in my past life, I had a job as a dancer and a software engineer. And your body kind of like turns into like this mode where I know it's a game, but your body's psychological response is like, I'm going to die if I don't win
Yeah.
the whole game. And it's like, I feel like your body can't really understand that it is a game as much as it is for a lot of money.
Right. How was that moment like, seeing your family like, I mean, you can just tell, you can feel the emotion, during those clippings. Like, how did that personally feel for you?
I mean, I instantly started crying even
Yeah.
before my parents came in. I think Jim's family came in first, and everybody starts crying. We're like, it's the family visit. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I immediately started telling them everything, like a word vomit of like, and this happened, and this happened, and wanted to share everything. And we were walking around the city, and I'm like, this is where I sleep, this is where I cried, this is where I laughed, this is where my
Oh,
best friend Katie lives. And
yeah.
then when they left, it was actually harder for me than when they came because it kind of like took me out of the game and kind of like reminded me of like, oh, I have a whole life at home. And it kind of made me mentally checked out of the game actually, because I kind of was like, oh, I have a whole life at home that I miss and I don't want to get eliminated, but it wouldn't be the worst thing, which is probably bad. I probably would have been better mentally for me if I didn't have a family visit, to be honest.
Yeah, because you're already like you're adapting to your environment already, and so now they kind of draw that emotion to kind of remind you like what you're fighting for, or things like that. Psychologically messes it plays with your brain.
Yes, for sure. And I know some people said, or a lot of people said, like, oh, this reminds me what I'm fighting for. As you said, like, I'm more locked in, I'm ready to go. And I think for me, it did the opposite. It made me realize, like, oh, I really miss being at home. I really miss people who I feel safe with because all the people, like, at that point in the top 10 were really nice and are really good, kind people. But I wasn't really super close with anybody besides Katie as far as like someone I absolutely felt like no matter what had my back.
Yeah,
So it made me feel a little bit lonelier and more like alone because I was like, oh, this is what actual family feels like. And now these people are awesome, but they aren't my actual family.
yeah.
So it was tough.
I'm actually very, very curious like you said, you feel like it did the opposite to help you lock in and kind of give you that strength to endure or push
Yeah.
through, right? And it kind of did the opposite. What helped you, you know, through that process, not so much just emotionally, but it helped you navigate that process so you can be ready for the next challenge.
Yeah, so for me, if I'm in a bad emotional state, to be honest, I think I probably went and had like a good cry and like
Yeah.
felt all my emotions and got it all out and then made the active decision to check back into the game and lock in again, as we say over and over on the show. Like deciding, okay, I'm gonna see them in some number of weeks, hopefully not too soon, because hopefully I'm there for the whole time.
Yeah.
But like really just making the decision of like instead of like wallowing in my sadness, I'm going to switch back and like lock in on the game.
Is there anything that you do that mentally kind of gets you back into like focused mode or helps you stay? Is there anything that you do to help you, I don't want to use the word lock in, but helps you kind of get back on track, when especially like through emotional stages?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is to like really let myself feel my feelings. Like if you just push those feelings away, they're gonna come out and they're gonna come out at the worst possible moment that you don't want them to come out.
Yeah.
So I think actively setting some amount of time to feel your feelings, feel upset, even if they're irrational or like don't really make sense to you, and then actively deciding like what are things I'm gonna do to make myself feel better. So like I remember, I think there was a day. I don't know, remember what it was, a day earlier in the season where I was in a funky emotional state. I remember Sue was also in a funky emotional state, and both of us just went to the gym together and worked out and talked and took time like away from everybody in the game just to sort of reset and take care of our bodies and our minds and just like be with somebody that we both trusted.
Yeah.